Hi you guys! Welcome back to another episode of In Confidence. It's me, your host, Tay Sims. This is where you get your confessions off your chest and I read them, no names attached. But there is a little bit of judgment attached because sometimes y'all got too much going on. But anyway, you guys, just to get started, I hope that everybody's having a good week. I hope that everything's going well for everyone. I hope that you guys are thriving. And if you're not, I hope that, you start looking up and things start looking well for you. Hope that you're trying to get sleep in these crazy times. Again, there's just so much going on. Oh! Y'all ever hit the pendulum and feel like you feel your throat expand? Oh, it got me tearing up, Lord. Stay away from them Benjamins. Now I'm just hearing about this abortion ban, nationwide abortion ban they're trying to do. I hope that everybody's safe. Hope that everybody's okay. Hope that everybody is trying to protect their mental, because there's a lot going on, okay? I've also got a lot going on in life right now. So again, I just hope that everybody is just taking care of their mental, because it's too much in the battlefield. It's too much going on, okay? It's too much. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe, that share, that notification bell so you don't miss when I'm posting. Even though I might post late sometimes, please forgive me. All right, I'm still entering into this space, but I promise for the most part to be consistent with my content, as long as you guys promise that you'll keep coming back. Remember that you guys can send your confessions to nashama.cot@gmail.com. Again, that's nashama.cot@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, hearing your confessions. Again, I had my neighbor's car towed from the street since it was sitting for a few weeks at a time. It had been parked on the street for weeks at a time here in California. It rarely got street cleaning tickets, had expired registration tags that were more than 3 years old, and was just a giant, ugly piece of crap. I finally had enough, especially since they would always park over the lines and sometimes block my car in enough that it was difficult for me to get out. I used the city's app to report it, and a parking enforcement officer came and ticketed it several times. One day he chalked the tires, and within 3 days I saw a car getting towed. I looked up the license plates afterward and found a car had been sitting in the impound lot for more than 2 months. Apparently it's been costing them 68 days or 68. Good Lord. I looked up the license plate afterward and found out a car had been sitting there in the impound for more than 2 months. Apparently it's costing them $68 a day in storage on top of all the administrative fees, so the total is now over $6,500 just to get it out. I don't know who's more annoying, you or the man who was parking the car, okay? Now, I get you could have told him, hey, once he parked in front of your driveway, he was crossing the line. Okay? Once he parked in front of your driveway, he was absolutely crossing the line. But damn, $6,500? I mean, it's clear that he probably don't care that much if he kept leaving it on the street like that, or it was just clear that there was nothing he could do about it. So I mean, I guess it's out of your way forever, but I don't really know what you got out of that. It sounded like you was just being bitter, but I ain't gonna lie, I would have been mad if that shit was parked in front of my house too. But don't just tell him, hey, just don't park it in front of my spot, we good, or I'm gonna get it towed. That's what you should have told him. Park it there again, brother. I deliberately ruined my coworker's presentation by muting their audio during a client call. Last month, I did something that still makes me feel sick when I think about it. I work in a small marketing firm, and we had this huge client pitch over video call. My coworker, Sam, was leading it and had been working on the presentation for weeks. The thing is, Sam got the lead on this project, even though I pitched the initial concept months ago. Management just handed it over without even acknowledging my work. During the call, I was supposed to be monitoring the technical side. About halfway through Sam's pitch, I saw the mute button for their audio in the host controls. I just clicked it. Oh, shoot. Okay. During the call, I was supposed to be monitoring the technical side. About halfway through Sam's pitch, I saw the mute button for their audio in the host controls. I just clicked it. Sam kept talking for almost 2 full minutes before realizing no one could hear them. The client looked confused and annoyed. By the time we got it sorted, the momentum was completely gone, and Sam flustered for the rest of the call. We didn't get the account. Sam got a warning from management about technical preparation, even though it wasn't their fault at all. I just sat there in the follow-up meeting and said nothing. I even suggested maybe Sam accidentally hit mute themselves. Nobody suspected me, because I'm usually the one who fixes tech problems. I know I sabotaged someone's work out of petty jealousy, and it cost the company a major client. Sam's reputation took a hit and they have no idea it was me. I feel like garbage about it, but I haven't told anyone and probably never will. The worst part is seeing Sam still being friendly to me while he's clearly being stressed about their standing at work now. You damn Skippy, I'm worried about my standing at work when I didn't even know what was going on. I'm over here delivering the Lord's work. I'm delivering my long soliloquy. I'm getting into it. I'm delivering my deliverables, and you gonna sit there and mute almost 2 minutes of talking? 2 minutes of talking is a really long time. That's a really long time. And then you sat there and you knew the client was annoyed. That's wrong as hell. You're mad because you pitched the idea and Sam then was the one who was chosen to carry it out. That's how a damn team works. If you don't like the rules, then you need to go work for somebody else. I understand being irritated, being like, damn, he ain't gonna steal my shit, but this is like some High School Musical ass behavior. This is for high schoolers, okay? And college students. That was wild as hell. Don't do that. Damn, you owe him. Cause you wild. And then too, one thing that makes me upset is that y'all are a team. Y'all are on a team. So I really don't understand what just happened here. Y'all, you just made shit worse. Why wouldn't you want to get the client? Why wouldn't you want to get the client? What's up, man? You got no business savvy. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to win. One of us win, we all win. Who's gonna bring in a client for y'all? 10 years ago, I essayed my friend and she doesn't know, struggling with the guilt. 10 years ago, my friend and I were hanging out and she was trying to wrestle something from me. We were basically play fighting, but as we pulled away, I intentionally guided my hand across her chest. I immediately felt disgusted with myself and have never done it or anything else like it again. I always thought it was creepy and objectifying. But when I talked with my therapist about it, he said not to minimize it from what it is, and that's essay. Now I feel really guilty and ashamed. I told my girlfriend about it, and she said not to worry since it was 10 years ago. But I just hate to think I'm an essayer. He did suggest that I shouldn't tell my friend about it because it could awaken some previous trauma or make her recontextualize the whole relationship. Yeah, and she might have been right to recontextualize the whole relationship because you just admitted that you essay her. He freaky. I'm a male dental hygienist. Today, I had a patient who's had on gray sweatpants. Immediately after laying him down, I just see the outline of a big Even though I'm mainly into women, I wouldn't mind having that thing inside me. Sometimes I look up their name on social media and stare at their pictures. It's not legal, I'm sure, but I get aroused. Hey, you're overly freaked out, okay? I hate to be the one to have to tell you this. You're overly freaked out and they got places that you can go to itch your scratches. Scratch your itches. Something. You gotta go to the sex clubs. I get maybe that's not something that you're used to, something that you don't know, but go be with other freaks of nature and people who like to, get down after midnight. Go ahead. You ain't gotta just, this is a lot, and it's overly horny. It is. I became really good at looking busy while doing almost nothing. I had an office job where nobody really checked what we were doing as long as we looked busy. After a few months, I found one perfect way. I would always open one spreadsheet, put my headphones in, walk around with a notebook, and everybody thought I was doing something important. But honestly, I spent so much time reading random stuff on the internet. Every time a new task would come, I always waited until last minute before starting. Somehow, people thought I was just taking my time and planning everything carefully. That was bullshit. I was just wasting time first, then panicking like hell when the deadline got close. The worst part was I kept leaving the annoying jobs for the next shift. I would always tell myself, I'll do it tomorrow, but I already knew somebody else was going to get tired and finish the shit before I even came back. Nobody really said anything because in the end, the work always finished anyway. One coworker once told me I was the most chill person in the office because I never looked stressed. I almost laughed right there. Of course, I'm not stressed. Half of my damn work was already becoming somebody else's work because I kept avoiding it without people noticing. Now, when I think about it, I wasn't smart at all. I wasn't working better than anybody. I was just lazy as hell and became really good at acting busy. I probably made everyone else's day a little harder and nobody even knows knows I was the reason. Damn, that's crazy. And I can't even tell if I'm mad at you or if I just think you're like a downright genius for that, because honestly, being able to get away with some shit like that is kind of crazy. But in this economy, we're all so overworked, babes. I don't even blame you. I do have the workload too. You said spreadsheets. If that's some kind of office job, I get it. Get your salary, but be prepared. I hope you saving your money and get ready to get out of there when the time is right. Be ready to get out, because once they find out that you're not doing shit, your ass is grass. Once they find out that you're not really working that job, once they find out you're not really doing your job and you've been passing off your whole workload to everybody else and not doing nothing you're supposed to do, you are getting fired. So you better be ready. I got a 90% raise and I've been keeping it to myself. This is a confession because none of my friends know the extent of this new job I got. I'm not one to talk about my salary to other people in real life, so it's been weird keeping this bottled up. But I went from a $70,000 to a $132,000 salary a couple days ago. It's been hard to process in the best way. Less than 6 years ago, I was making peanuts as a 911 dispatcher, working my ass off and competing to force OT on overnight shifts. I'm a 30-year-old and broke into tech thanks to the new tools that came out the past couple years. I get to tell my parents though. Basically, she was working her ass off and she said, I'm on a new salary. I definitely think you should get to enjoy it for a little bit. Like, enjoy it and keep the news to yourself. Be happy. Soak it in. Soak it in with your parents. Like, you don't always have to tell everybody your business. It's okay. It's okay. You can tell your friends when you're ready to tell your friends. I mean, as long as you're not like some kind of sneaky ass person, but hey, you know, talk about your wins and your things when you're ready to talk about them. If they come up, they come up. If they don't, they don't. You know, it's not like nobody's asking you unless somebody's like, hey, did you get a new job lately? Like, I don't know. I sometimes believe in keeping stuff to myself. Anyway, I, 26 male, lied about being a chef to impress a girl. Now I have to host a cooking class. Oh, brother. 3 months ago, I panicked trying to impress my neighbor, Sarah. She's 27. And I told her I was a chef specializing in French and Asian fusion. I maintained the lie by ordering expensive takeout, plating it nicely, and letting her see me toss the containers. It worked too well, the whole apartment building found out and crowned me resident culinary expert. The lie backfired when the building hosted a potluck and tagged me to bring a dish. Being broke, I bought 5 frozen lasagnas, baked them in my own dishes, threw fresh basil on top, and called it rustic, and everyone lost their minds. And now Sarah wants a private cooking lesson this weekend. My actual skill level stops at microwaving 101. How do I confess I'm a fraud without ruining my chances? Honestly, this is a plot to a movie. You are a director or a movie director, you need to get this as the plot for your show. You need this. This could be a 1-hour movie right here. And it wouldn't take much. Damn. Also, I think that you wrong as hell for lying to Sarah. If you can't cook, because let me tell you something. Some women don't play about their food, okay? Some people don't play about their food, period. And let me tell you something. If you tell me that you can cook and I mess around and find out that you can't cook, yo ass grass, okay? You're done. Cooked. Finito. Bye. Because why would you lie about that? Because what if she asked you to get up in the middle of the night after y'all got together or whatever and to make her grilled cheese and you couldn't even do that? Let me tell you something. You better find a rat from the sewer and a hat and a chef belt, because you gonna have to pull some ratatouille ass shit to get this to pull off. And I hope that he pull your hair out, because you shouldn't have lied. Anyway, good luck to you. You better find something easy and teach Sarah how to make it. You better find out. But if you gonna keep up with this lie, which I don't suggest you do, you better do it well. Linguini. I treated one store like my personal free rental shop. There was this electronics store with a really generous return policy. I figured out I could buy things, use them for a week or two, clean everything up, put it back in the box, then return it saying it wasn't what I expected. The first time actually worked, and after that I kept doing the same thing with different stuff. I borrowed speakers for a party, a pressure washer to clean my driveway, and even a fancy camping stove for one weekend trip. Every single time I got all my money back. I started feeling smart, like I had found some secret life hack nobody else knew about. One day the employee in the return counter looked at my receipt and looked at me and said, "You really don't keep anything, huh?" He wasn't rude, but I could tell he knew exactly what kind of bullshit I was pulling. He still processed the refund, but I felt my face feeling hot. I never went back to that store again after that. I used to laugh about it with my friends because I thought I was beating the system. Now I just think I was being a cheap asshole. The store probably survived just fine, but that doesn't make what I did any less shitty. I wasn't returning things because they were defective. I was just too damn selfish to pay for stuff I wanted to use. Yeah, you're like a retail worker's like worst nightmare, honestly, because what you're doing is you making their shit go up and you're making them have a really good day. You're making the day look good when you come in and buy expensive stuff, and then you come in the next couple days and you return it, and then you make their store sales go down. And honestly, as somebody who used to work in retail, you would have aggravated the mess out of me. And honestly, you probably would have eventually ended up getting banned from the store, because ain't no way you finna just keep coming in here buying stuff and returning stuff. I used to have a customer like that, and she used to always come in for this one pair of pajamas, and she used to ask every single week if they were going on sale. It's like clockwork. She would come in and she would be like, "Are these going on sale yet? Oh, is this on sale yet?" And she would buy stuff and she would return it, and then she would buy like $600 worth of stuff and then return it. Like, no, that's too much work. And then too, you gotta fold it all up, pack it all up, handle the return, send it out. Like, nobody likes doing returns. Nobody does. And that just shows that none of y'all had no other retail job. Because listen, I'm all about getting my money back, but you was doing too much. But I guess more power to you if they never said nothing neither, because that's also their fault. I would have been like, "Nah, bro, this final sale." I saw the cash first and decided to take it for myself. I found a wallet in the parking lot outside the supermarket. First thing I did was open it to see if there was any ID inside. There was, but there was also about $60 in cash. I don't know what the hell happened in my head, but I took the money out first, put the wallet back together, and left it at customer service like that's how I found it. I kept telling myself I did the right thing because at least they got the wallet, cards, and ID back. That was some bullshit excuse. I already know if I lose my wallet, the cash is probably the first thing I hope is still inside. For a long time, I actually felt smart about it. I thought I found some kind of middle ground where I wasn't really stealing. Looking back now, that's just me trying to make myself feel better for doing a shitty thing. It wasn't life-changing money for me. I just saw easy cash and took it because I thought nobody could prove anything. The owner probably never knew who did it, but I know. That's enough to make me feel like an asshole every time I remember it. Well, here's the thing. If you feel like shit about it, that means that you did bad. You know, you know morally how you feel about stuff. But, you know, I don't know. Sometimes we just see stuff when we do it, and especially in times like this, because it wasn't posted out long ago. Especially in times like this, sometimes you see some money on the ground, you be like, damn. But in the whole wallet, I don't know. You can't even open up something like that. You just gotta close it and not even look at it to hope, you know, just to look away from the money that you could potentially steal. Sometimes you just gotta look at stuff and go, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do it. But you did it now, so you gotta eat that. If you remember who the person was, well, hey, go back and find them and give them $60. But other than that, you're gonna have to forgive yourself and move on. But don't steal no more wallets off the ground, okay? Just turn them in or something. I don't know. I threw away my neighbor's DMV driver's license because she used my address. A little bit of background to make me feel less bad. I've been managing bills and paperwork after my husband's death in December. I'm signed up with the service through USPS where they email you images of your incoming mail. I saw a large mailer from the DMV and I thought it was something that I had been expecting in regards to my late husband. To my shock, it was a license belonging to who knows. I do get mail every once in a while for this person, and I thought it was a previous owner still getting mail. After some sleuthing and looking through my notes from when I first moved in, I realized the last name matches my neighbor's, but it's not her or her first name. My neighbors are nice people, but they do have a lot of extended family that comes and goes. That doesn't bother me at all. Her using mistakenly probably my address on her DMV license does bother me greatly. I could have walked the mail over and asked my neighbor that she has her family member update her address, but I did not. I straight chucked that thing in the garbage along with a few mail in regards to her car insurance. You bogus. I ain't gonna lie. You taking your husband dying out on everybody else, and I'm sorry for your loss. I know that that's hard. I have never lost a partner. I haven't, I love my man down. If I lost him, I would be absolutely devastated, but I just think this is so wrong. Like, you ain't have to do that. Sometimes people make mistakes on their address. Sometimes address look very close. Sometimes mail people make mistakes. Like, it's not uncommon to get somebody else's mail at your house. Like, and if you knew who it was, you could have just gave it to her, bro. But I guess I'm sorry for your loss. And I hope that you start to feel better and don't keep treating people like crap just because you going through something. Like, I know death is hard, but hey, we all got to be better. I got my neighbor's wife pregnant 10 years ago at a party. 10 years ago, I was 47. I threw a party and slept with a neighbor's wife. Then a month later, she said she was pregnant and it was mine. We never told our spouses because we had too much to lose. Now I see the 10-year-old girl thinking about what we did. Totally my fault she got pregnant. That is absolutely nuts. And where was your wife when you threw the party? Where was your spouse at when you threw the party? How did you even get a chance to do that? If it was the night of the party. And then also too, you're the kind of man, you know what? You're the kind of man that just makes everything worse. Why would you do this? Now the little girl don't know where she come from. Now she thinks somebody her daddy who's obviously not her daddy. And you know what? What's done in the dark does come to light. And you probably old enough to be her granddad now. Since you said 10 years ago, you 57 now. That means you old enough to be that her granddad. You bogus as hell. You should be in her life. And also too, like, y'all just got two spouses that y'all not gonna tell nothing. You're not gonna say nothing to. That's the ultimate betrayal. That's crazy. I write bad company reviews pretending to be someone else. Whenever a coworker gets on my bad side, I would sometimes write a bad review of the company I'm working at and tailor it as if my coworker wrote it. I keep an arsenal of all the issues they are openly dealing with. I get excited when people overshare because that way I can use that information against them whenever they cross me. I've only ever done this 2 times. Can't say I'm proud of it. Not sure if anything ever come out of it because I never stay at the jobs that long. You wronged in a mug. You just show up to these people establishments, stir everything up and leave. You done it twice. If you've done it 2 times, that means you might do it a 3rd time, which means you might do it a 4th. Stop doing that. Stop running amok. That's gremlin behavior. That is evil. Confession. I've been a phone sex operator for 8 years. Edit. Yes, phone sex is still a thing, lol. Maybe you don't see ads on the TV anymore, but yes, of course, it's still a thing and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. We have websites for women selling feet pictures, camming sites, and selling panty sites. Of course, phone sex is still out there. You just have to Google it. As long as there's horny men, none of the sex industry is going anywhere anytime soon. You have glory holes. Yes, this SHIT is real. For the past 8 years, I've been a phone sex operator. It's been my full-time income. I've had other jobs here and there, but I always end up going back because it pays better than most jobs I've worked. One thing nobody knows is that I've played just about every race of woman. Most customers think that I'm a white woman and they've never questioned it. Most guys are into some fucked up shit. I've convinced a lot of customers to send me money through Cash App, buy me gift cards, and send me other things. Some of them believed they were eventually going to meet me in person or that sending money would lead to something more. That was never going to happen. Back in summer of 2022, one guy spent a little over $10,000 on me in a week. I used that money to pay off some debt, get my apartment. Another customer brought me so many Amazon gift cards that I was able to furnish my entire apartment with them. At the end of the day, it's all fantasy. They are paying for a character, and I've been playing that character for the last 8 years. Hey, I mean, I don't blame you. You gotta get it where you live it, because honestly, people will take advantage of you sometimes. And no, I'm not saying, but people who call the phone sex lines, they sometimes like to be taken advantage of. So hey, Get what you gotta get, and I'm glad that you got most of that, and it seems like tax-free, because Cash App, oh, shoot, hell yeah. Hell yeah, get that income, sister. I'm glad for you. I use the HOV lane at home every day as a solo driver. Been doing it since 2020. Cops stopped caring, and so did I. The hours I've saved will be worth getting a ticket, but haven't seen a cop on the highway in years. Dang, I get that though. Sometimes I use the 2-person lane too. Don't sue me, but hey, sometimes it just, the rush hour be having too much going on. And most of the time you really don't see the cops on the expressway. Shoot. I took advantage of the CVS self-checkout kiosk that had $20 bills loaded into the $5 bill slot. Many years ago, I used the self-checkout at CVS, and instead of giving me 2 $5 bills in my change, they gave me 2 $20 bills. I told my friend and his wife, and we all teamed up to empty it. We had all went in and each bought something that cost less than $5 and inserted small bills. Instead of 15 and change, we received 14 and change. I went twice, including my first time, and they each went out, but when we went back again, the machine was out of order. It was awesome. Dang. Yep. Hey, I get it. I get it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. The government is scamming us. Get your money. Got caught shoplifting while my mother was with me. I'm a woman, 24. I have a good job and live in a bigger city for work. I came back to my hometown for a little bit. I was out with my mother at a supermarket for a little shopping, and I shoplifted some items and got caught. They saw me on camera, I believe. I never do this and don't know what I was thinking, and it was few items, so that's worse. I am so ashamed and I feel horrible about it. My first instinct was to lie. I don't know why I did it, but I said a friend made a bet and thus I did this. I feel so horrible. I don't know what to do. Your mom probably balled up her Arthur fist and was pissed off and so ashamed to have you with her. What was you thinking? And here's what I'll tell you what you was thinking. I know you was thinking, I done got away with this before. You steal. You definitely steal. You be thieving. And that's okay. That's okay. Did you know that that's okay if you steal a little bit? Just admit that you a thief. Actually, well, it's like not okay to be stealing, but hey, like, you gotta accept yourself for who you are. You're a little bit of a thief. You be stealing from the stores, all right? Don't lie and be like, oh, I don't know what came over me. No, you stole a few items. You did that on purpose. Once a stealer, always a stealer. I've been using Tinder to find places to stay after getting kicked out. I got kicked out of my parents' house and became homeless at 18. I have no other family, and my friends couldn't put me up for more than a few days without their parents getting angry. So one of my friends had the bright idea to use Tinder to find places to stay. I occasionally stayed in hotels or in my car when I can too, while I'm saving up for my own place. But for the most part, what I do is match with women on Tinder, arrange a hookup, and sleep around their place. I get a free shower, a comfy bed, and some good sex. The longest I've stayed at one place was 2 weeks with this older woman that I matched with while her son was on vacation. I'm kind of using people I know, but I honestly don't have a bunch of options. You got a car and you getting some kind of income. That mean, all right, look, well, wait, is you getting income? Wait a minute. How you keeping clothes on your back? You got a phone because you posted this. You getting some kind of money. So maybe you do have a job. Okay, so if you don't got a job, you need to get a better job. That's number one. Or you need to find some work to do, but also keep running it up. Just don't hurt nobody. Don't get nobody no diseases. Don't overpromise something that you can't deliver to, and don't be somebody that you're not. As long as you do that, hey, maintain your physique and go for the cash, brother. I can't even lie to you. Go for the gold mine. Some people don't mind. Some people want a little companionship. You know what I mean? Some people want a little something and they know what the deal is. Do what you gotta do. Just don't hurt nobody. Be cool. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and share. Make sure that you guys push your notification bells, and make sure that if you have any confessions, send them to nashama.ka@gmail.com. That's nashama.ka@gmail.com. You guys keep them brief, keep them short, and just email me anything, you guys. Email me anything else you'd like to see me talk about, anything that you've heard that you want to see me talk about, and yes, keep those notifications on. Share this with a friend, and until next time, bye.